Hey guys, Carla von Guerra here, and welcome to my channel. It's been a little while since I've added to my underrated video game series, and you guys seem to take a pretty good liking to it, so I figured since 2018 has just started, ringing in the new year, I wanted to jump back into it. Now I want to give a small disclaimer here. The video games that I talk about on here are games that I personally feel are underrated. They're not AAA titles, they're not like critically acclaimed or anything like that. They're games that I personally loved as a child or even as an adult that I feel were just incredibly underrated. Having said that, let's just keep this rolling. The game we're talking about today was one of my absolute favorites growing up, much to my sister's dismay. She bought it for me for the Sega Genesis or MegaDrive one Christmas, and I'm pretty sure she regretted every second of it after. Cause see, she didn't realize that her days would be filled with farting and burping and a million That's right, my dudes. Today we're talking about Beavis and Butthead. I know this game is technically hailed as pretty awful. I get it. I do. I recently played through the game myself and I couldn't help but be annoyed by a lot of the glitchy mechanics. It's a game that admittedly hasn't aged that well, but it still brings a wave of nostalgia to any diehard Beavis and Butthead fan. The storyline is pretty straightforward. We find that our beloved protagonists have tickets to the Guerra concert, which Mr. Anderson's dog eats and subsequently vomits, only to have Mr. Anderson run over the tickets with his ride-on lawnmower. The tickets get shredded and fly all over town, which then leaves you with the critical mission to find all the ticket pieces in order to attend. Gameplay is pretty standard to a platformer, only more sadistically difficult. You have skateboarders to dodge, trendy ladies slapping you as they walk by, rats, and shopping carts to jump over. Tasks that wouldn't seem so difficult if only you didn't have one life before you get a game over. This game is pretty true to its time, in that it didn't hold your hand, and boy did it make sure that you knew it. Of course, you're not stuck with just jumping and dodging, thankfully. Your stock weapons are burps and farts, but you later have the opportunity to level up with weapons such as a spit shooter, a baseball bat, and even a machine dart gun. These upgrades make the game much easier, but not enough to let your guard down. There is still a puzzle element to this game, in that you have to find ticket pieces and items in a certain way in each level, and with little room for error, it can be rage-inducing. If you stick with it, however, you'll find a charming game that rings true to its title. Music is excellent, even if it is a little bit repetitive. Sound bites are on point, and visually it fits in with the raw animation style that we're used to seeing in Beavis and Butthead. The comedy rings through with this title, from diseased hamburgers to rabid rats. This is a must-play for any die-hard Beavis and Butthead fan, or any fan of sadistic platforming. In all honesty, if you could see past the glitchy game mechanics, this title is actually a pretty faithful adaptation of the Beavis and Butthead series to the video game platform. I wholeheartedly recommend picking it up if you happen to catch it in the wild in some bargain bin somewhere. And that about does it for today's video, guys. Did you guys ever play Beavis and Butthead for the Sega Genesis or MegaDrive? What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any titles that you think would be a good fit for the series, also let me know. I'd like to hear from you too. As always, I have all my social media links listed in the description of the video, and until next time, keep on gaming.